Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we have got another, I know a lot of you carry fixed blades on you. When I say EDC fixed blade, I of course am referring to the smaller size fixed blades. I know some of you carry some big ones, that's fine. But when I say EDC fixed blade, I'm talking definitely less than 8 inches, probably more in that 7-inch range. But before I get into it, I have to give a huge shout out to our good friend, Dave Burge. He has been writing articles online for KTSM out of El Paso, KTSM Online out of El Paso. He started out as a weekly article, and now I'm thinking he's up to at least 2 a week a lot of times. So he writes fantastic articles. He shares the links with myself, Zach, a few others, and we post them during our live streams. I also post the links to my BigRedEDC Facebook page, share them on X sometimes. So, guys, if you want to check out his articles, they're very well written. Absolutely fantastic. Go check out my BigRedEDC Facebook page. I'll leave a link down, comments, description. There'll be one. Fantastic articles. And of course, if you drop in on a live stream, you'll more than likely see his latest article as a pinned comment. And not only do I give him a shout out for fantastic articles, he actually sent this guy, the Tenable Tiny Dancer, for me to check out. But not only did he send it to me to check out, he said, please put it in a giveaway. So, Dave, thank you so very much. So very kind, so very generous of you. I've been sending Dave some knives to check out, and he graciously returned the favor with the Tiny Dancer here and said, give it away. So, very cool. Thanks again, my friend. But, now, into the knife. Yes, this is the Tenable Tiny Dancer. And we're going to have some really interesting things, well, really interesting to me, hopefully to you too, to talk about with this knife. Now, of course, you can see you've got the Kydex sheath. You've got the belt loop there. You can adjust it so you can, traditional carry it. You can scout carry it. Very cool. Love that's an option. I know a lot of people really prefer scout carry. So, really good option. Wished we see that a little more. But anyway, Kydex sheath. The retention. You've got a good click. Yep, there it went. I tried to stop it and overshot. Yeah, really good retention on that Kydex sheath for sure. But this is the Tiny Dancer. Now, of course, the Tiny Dancer is a collaboration with JB Stout. Very cool. Now, the big thing that I'm going to really focus on is the handle. It's a micarta handle, but it has to be the most solid, and I'm sure it has to do, there's a lot of milling going on, as you can tell. It's milling like crazy. All the hills and valleys going on. But this has to be some of the sturdiest, stiffest, so she said, micarta I have ever felt on a knife. Now, well, we'll get to that later, but it just is. It really surprised me. When I just opened it up, popped it out, put it in hand. When I really first looked at it, I was like, okay, the G10 feels good or whatever. It really does. It feels more like G10 or FRN than it does micarta. But it does have a very generous lanyard hole, full tang construction. Go on there. You've got a nice swell in the handle. That does fit my hand very nicely. You've got a nice sort of ramp there on the spine coming into it. You're talking blackwashed D2 blade. There you go. D2. Of course, there's the JB Stout Maker's Mark. Tiny Dancer right there. Now, you do have a bit, and when I say a bit, I mean a bit, of a forward finger choil. It's definitely meant to be. It's small. It is small. If I put my finger in there, I don't have overly large fingers. I am right up against the heel of that blade. So if you are going to use it as a forward finger choil, I would say if you have my size fingers or larger, be careful. Be careful. Drop point blade. Got that nice sort of black wash going on. Flat ground. Do have a nice swedge, but like I said, that ramp does fit me really nicely on the spine. My hand just kind of goes right into there. That green micarta handle. That just really, honestly, that just kind of blew me away when I realized it was micarta. But anyway, quick spec check going on. So you've got a almost 7-inch knife, about 6 7/8. You're looking at pretty close to 3 3/4. Not quite on the handle. Blade length is going to come out at just over 3 inches, 3 1/8 ish. And then your cutting edge is going to come out to right about 2.5. And then your grip length, normal, I mean, it pretty much curves all around. Comes around to about a little more than 3.5. As you see, my pinky kind of sits around there. Now you can, like I said, you can choke up, but you just got to be really careful. Really careful on the heel of that blade. So just a couple of quick size comparisons. Pretty much normal size comparisons. Bug out. Bug out's definitely a larger knife. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then, of course, we got the PM2. Definitely a larger knife. Now, again, this sits on your, sits on your belt, either standard or scout carry. I am going to weigh it with everything. We'll get it with the sheath and all. So on your belt, you're looking at about 5.3 ounces or 151 grams. Alone, just the knife, you're down to 105 grams or 3.7 ounces. It does carry pretty nicely. I mean, it's a little EDC fixed blade. I carried it on my belt. There we go. I left it a little bit loose, so I did scout carry when I carried it. But you just got to tighten those up a bit, and it shifts over pretty easy. I mean, you could leave it. I don't really recommend leaving it like that, just because, if you catch it or bump it, it could move around. But overall, I scout carried it. It carried very well, but we're going to go back to this handle, because that's a really, really interesting point for me. And I don't know if it's a good point, honestly. Yeah, just the micarta, the feel of the micarta, the feel of the texturing on there. The shape is terrific. I love the shape. I really kind of wished it was just regular old micarta. I mean, I know the milling, it gives it that little touch. It gives it a little bit of extra. Some people are going to love it. I have no doubt about it. I'm just not sure I'm one of them. I did grow used to it, but, after carrying it and using it, when I first put it in my hand, I was like, oh, wow, that's I was like, that's really aggressive G10. It's not G10, it's micarta. And I don't know if I like my micarta aggressive. I don't think I do, It's really kind of the overall shape, the overall design I like. It's just, I'm really, really got a sticking point with that micarta. The handle is where I'm like, And unfortunately, when there's a point like that, I kind of always revert to there's other options out there, The price is great. $55. No issues with that whatsoever. Now, when I took it to work, I got about 80% through 1/4-inch rope. We're talking 9-thread. It didn't go all the way through 9-thread. Now, caveat, this was not a fresh out of the box knife. I talked to Dave. He had used it a little bit. He said nothing major, no hard cutting at all, just some around the house type stuff, as most of us do, 80% of us. open packages and stuff with our EDC knives. You know, he said maybe some bags of dog food or cat food. I forget which one he said, but, you know, nothing too major. So I'm like, okay, it didn't do well on 9-thread initially. So I'm like, okay, let's go, you know, since it's not a brand new knife, I try not to alter, well, I don't alter, you know, knives when I get them in for review. I do not alter them at all. I use them a bit, figure out, you know, what I like, what I don't like, and then show them to you guys. I don't strop it after I use it because I want, you know, sometimes I do cuts and I tell you what I've used it on, show you what it cuts like afterwards. And so I did. I stropped this one a bit. I put a decent strop on it, probably 10 or 12 slaps on each side on the strop. Went back to the 9-thread, and it cut through pretty well. It went all the way through. Not aggressively. So to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even try it on 1/2 inch. I really didn't. The edge, you know, left a little bit to be desired. So I will give this away, absolutely, as Dave requested. But I just want the winner to know that the edge might need, you know, maybe put your own edge on it. Do you, and you'll probably be fine. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, design, price, you know, overall look, definitely. It's just that. That's just kind of a sticking point with me. I don't know. You know, like I say, some people out there are probably going to love it. I do like the fact that you can change the angle on the Kydex. Absolutely. That's great. But for me, unfortunately, the Tiny Dancer in this configuration would probably have to be a pass. Just because of that handle. For me, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. But, again, I have to just thank Dave so much for sending out. Nah, you want to look at the knife. You don't want to look at the stupid. There we go. For sending this out, Dave. Thank you so very much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Of course, guys, go check out Dave's articles. Like I said, you can check it out on my BigRedEDC Facebook page. If you join a live stream, it's going to be the pinned comment. Make sure to check it out. If you're definitely in that El Paso area, go check it out. And in the EDC, of course. You wouldn't be watching this if you weren't. So, there you go. But, yes, please do. Dave, thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the Tenable Tiny Dancer with me. As always, have a wonderful rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.